Hey guys, Kyle the Otaku here, and we are witnessing the birth of a new horror icon. Winnie the Pooh. Couple years ago, the copyright for the Winnie the Pooh children's books by A.A. Mills has expired, plunging Pooh into the free-for-all hellscape of the public domain. So of course, the first thing we as a blood-hungry, instinctively violent species do with Winnie's newfound freedom is turn the silly old bear stuffed with fluff into a backwoods hillbilly slasher. The first film, though I admittedly enjoyed how bad it was still pretty bad. Due to the measly $100K budget that this movie had to work with, they couldn't really afford prosthetic makeup for their characters, so they utilized masks from CFX Studios to fill in the void, while they focused the rest of the budget on the effects for the kills. Who the fuck is calling me right now? Piss off, scam likely. Most of the film's effects, including the carnage and facial expressions of Winnie and Piglet, were digitally enhanced via VFX. Those CFX masks are quality, but they're not exactly easy to emote through. On the subject of Winnie and Piglet, Winnie's design I liked. It has that classic backwoods killer vibe to it. Piglet, on the other hand, not so much. It's a pig in a black hoodie with black gloves. That's it. The kills were serviceable, if a little dull, with the exception of Pooh grinding a girl's face with a car. That made me bust a gut laughing. I'm a sick fuck, what do you want from me? The story was unimportant. I can forgive a film like this for lacking a story because all I need is the setup and the chaos. We got the setup, win a little light on the chaos. Overall, the first Blood and Honey didn't quite meet my campy popcorn expectations. It was damn close, but nowhere near the finish line. Blood and Honey 2, on the other hand, blows those expectations away like a shotgun blast point blank to the face. And I'm not the only one, because right now, currently, it stands at a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes with a whopping 83% audience score. Yes, I paid money to go see this in theaters, which thank God I did because it felt like I helped fund the second one. The plot follows Chris Robin, who is still trying to move on with his life after the events of the first film, labeled the 100 Acre Massacre. In the year that followed, people have labeled Chris a murderer, believing his story of human-animal half-breeds as a laughable cover-up for his killing spree. But there are those who believe his story and go out into the 100 Acre Wood in hunt of the unnatural abominations against nature. Because of this, Pooh and Piglet, now joined by Owl and Tigger, grow tired of hiding and decide to bring the fight to the humans and flood the streets of Ashdown with the blood of its citizens. There is definitely more of a plot this time around compared to the first one. Pooh and company have more of a reason to butcher people, and Chris Robin, instead of being pushed into the background for most of the movie, is now front and center the main protagonist. There's also a subplot around Robin trying to cope with a tragedy that occurred when he was a child, a rabbit hole, pun slightly intended, that leads to a pretty haunting tale of how the half-breeds came to be. Pooh and the gang, this time around, have moved on from CFX silicone hoods and have evolved. The team reportedly had 5 times the budget this time around, meaning they could actually afford prosthetic makeup this time. And I'm not gonna lie, they didn't just cook, they made a whole-ass 5 Michelin star gourmet Gordon Ramsay goddamn meal. The kills are improved as well, all practically done next to no digital enhancement. The only time I really noticed anything digital in the movie was when Owl is flying, when Tigger's tail is moving, or when a kill can't feasibly be done practically, of which there are like 2 or 3. Other than that, everything you see is actually there on camera, and for a sick bastard like myself, this movie's carnage candy. People have claimed it as Terrifier levels of gore, and I do not 100% agree with that statement, but it is kinda close. It is crazy how much of a glow-up this movie is from the first one. Hell, the quality is so much better. They make fun of it in this one, showing it as an in-universe schlockbuster cashing in on the 100 Acre Wood Massacre. They even make a Morbin time joke. Now, even though I fucking loved this movie, there are a few things I think could have been done just a little bit better. Chris and his love interest Lexi have a friend who only shows up for a couple of scenes and disappears. I don't even know if he has a death scene in the movie. There was a guy that was killed by Owl like midway through the movie, so maybe that was him. I don't know, I could be mistaken. It is well known that Winnie the Pooh is a tubby stuffed with fluff bear, but I'm not gonna lie, the prosthetic belly bulge that Pooh has in the movie looks kinda silly. Kinda looks like what happens when a kid pretends to be dad and stuffs a pillow under his shirt. I was kind of expecting Tigger to have more screen time. They marketed the crap out of him in the ads and teasers, but he only has like 5 or 6 minutes of screen time in the movie. And then there's... my god, I think that's it. This is how you adapt and improve. Everything they did wrong with the first, they have basically fixed here. It almost feels like they made the first Blood and Honey the best they could with the budget they had, so they could use the money from this to fund the next one. And if that is anywhere near the case, then that means every single one of you poor bastards that went and saw this movie in theaters like myself, even though I did enjoy it, guess what? We were rewarded. We have spawned, nay, wished into existence what may be my favorite straight-to-video horror flick of the year. I also can't wait for the other twisted fairy tales they have coming. Before the movie began in the theater, there was a little introduction from the creators of this universe announcing and showing teaser images of their next projects, including a video teaser for Bambi the Reckoning. If you think I'm not gonna skip my happy ass down to the theater to see a zombie deer massacre the hunters that poached and killed his mother? Did you not hear me praising the fuck out of this movie this entire video? So if y'all went and saw Blood and Honey 2 in theaters, tell me, what'd you think of the movie? Are you excited to see what else these twisted fairy tales have to offer? I mean, y'all know my disturbed ass is already primed and ready, because Blood and Honey 2 was one hell of a sweet treat. Teaser for next video.